I'm Jesse McAnally.
And I'm Andrew DeWolf.
And I'm Brianna Jones.
And welcome to Musicals with Cheese, a podcast where I try to get Andrew and Bree to like musical theater. How are you doing today, Andrew?
Oh man, I'm doing quite well. How are you doing?
I need some advice. Some girl trouble.
You're having some girl trouble.
I am. And Bree, I want you to chime in on this because I feel like a female point of view here is needed.
Yeah, got you.
So as we all know, and I've set up several times on this podcast, I am a songwriter. I also work for my father and a bunch of other things. I'm playing my songs on the street. We all know about my breakup. I went through this really intense breakup. She went to New York after, an affair, or sometimes just leaving for New York, depending on which version of the story I'm telling. And I just meet this girl. Her name is Girl, of course, and I tell her my name is Guy, or we don't specify the names, but that's definitely our names. She's got this toddler and a husband, and I'm just like, man, I think we're made for each other. So what should I do? Should I go to New York and chase my ex, or should I convince this girl that she and her toddler should come live with me and forget the toddler's baby daddy and just let me raise them and be with them? Like, what should I do?
You should invite her over to listen to your new album and have some hanky-panky.
I don't think hanky-panky's a good idea. Maybe do an entire album, or maybe just a couple singles.
Can we run by the hanky-panky idea again? Like, are we sure?
I don't know, but there was a time when we were talking when I said something, and then she said, I think it was I love you, but in like a different language. But then she said, I asked her what it meant, and she said it means it's raining, but I'm pretty sure she said she loved me.
So this hanky-panky idea...
Never gonna happen?
Not gonna happen? Not on the table?
I think I should just buy her a piano.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically the same thing, really, when you get down to it.
Take this sinking boat and point it home. We both have time. This week, in case you haven't picked up on what I'm throwing down, we are talking about Once the Musical and the movie. Cue the music, Bree. Once is a musical written by Edna Walsh with music and lyrics by Glenn Hansard and Markita Irglova. The musical began previews on Broadway at the Bernard B. Jacobs Theater from the 28th of February 2012 and officially opening on March 18th of 2012. It received 11 Tony Award nominations, winning 8, including Best Musical. It was announced the musical would close on January 4th, 2015, after 1,167 regular performances and 22 previews by closing time. It was based on the film by the same name, the plot of which is, on the streets of Dublin, an Irish musician and a Czech immigrant are drawn together by their shared love of music. Over the course of one fateful week, an unexpected friendship and collaboration quickly evolves into a powerful but complicated love story. So, Bree, what is your history with Once and your thoughts on the film? Because I know you've watched it.
I have watched the film. It has been almost a decade probably since I've seen it, but I remember really liking it, especially the music, and actually becoming really interested in Glenn Hansard, and I still listen to him till this day. There's somewhere a cover of, Falling Slowly on the internet, me and Jacob covered, but that's old.
Play a clip from that, Bree. Also, Bree, this isn't our first overlap of collaboration with Glenn Hansard. We have a mutual friend named Jenna who hired me to DP a music video for Glenn Hansard's song. I forget what song it was, but yeah, we collaborated on that. That was a lot of fun. And that kind of cemented us as good old friends, I'd say.
Yeah. He was doing a competition?
A music video competition. Whoever had the best music video got to be the music video for it. We didn't win.
We didn't win, but it was beautiful, and we did an amazing job. I will say that.
Yeah, I thought
Is that anywhere?
Yeah, that's on YouTube's.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, check that out. I think I did a really good job, and I collaborated with my good friend Dawn on that, and I think we put some work together.
Jenna killed it. She edited together so well, and it's beautiful.
We should have
You guys
won.
a lot more. You got a lot more to do with this than I do.
I am very curious. Andrew, you watched both the film adaptation and the stage show of Once. What is your overall interpretation of Once?
I think I liked the stage show better. It feels like it expanded on what the movie did, like a lot. The movie feels like a stereotypical like indie film, you know? You know what I'm saying? Do I need to elaborate on that?
You don't need to elaborate. I will elaborate.
You go ahead.
People know, I hope people know at this point, my history and my education, which is mostly in film production and all that, and like how I make films in a lot of styles, and I fucking hate mumblecore as a genre. I really
So what is mumblecore? You gotta describe this.
So you know what Lena Dunham did with girls and all that? Like, I think there's a proper description. Like, let me see if I can get a proper definition of it.
Because I feel like I'm thinking mumblecore as like the genre of rap where people just go, no.
No, mumblecore is a style of low-budget film typically characterized by the use of non-professional actors and naturalistic or improvised performances. And the way I envision a mumblecore movie, and Brie, you and I went to film school together. We've seen hundreds of these together in the same room, where you have one character, desaturated room, very shallow depth of field, shot on a DSLR camera, just talking about like, I just feel like artistically, I'm just feeling my life isn't what it could be. And then someone's cuddling them and being like, you are the most brilliant artist I've ever known.
Bro, but it's real, bro. It's like raw. It's emotion, man. It's real life.
It's unprofessional filmmakers thinking they're pros and making garbage. So, I won't say once the film is garbage, but it does teeter onto the pretentious side of mumblecore. The stage show, on the other hand,
feel like it
is really good.
It escapes a little bit by having cute accents, as everyone likes Irish people.
The movie was shot on a potato. It was shot on digital before it was cool to shoot on digital. It was shot on digital before digital looked any good.
I'm not going to argue because I can't. You're making great points.
It looks terrible. The performances are naturalistic but meandering. Like, there's not much offered by their performances. And also, the lead actor, Glenn Hansard, 37 years old, and the lead actress, 18, 17 years old, started dating on the set of this, and that actress, to this day, right now, is still only 34, has not reached the age that Glenn Hansard was when he shot this film. And that just feels weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little strange, a little bit iffy, a little bit questionable. You know, one thing I liked about the movie...
Yes.
Over the stage show, because there's not that many things, but he seems more willing to just like yell into the mic when he's singing in the movie than in the stage show where everything is a lot more clean. And I thought that was interesting. It felt more folksy, I guess.
Well, I do prefer Glenn Hansard's voice, too, because it is a little bit more raw. It is a little bit more less theatery than what's done on stage. And would you believe this is not the first time Glenn Hansard has appeared on this podcast? He has a little cameo in the film adaptation of Cyrano as the first soldier that sings in the Wherever I Fall song from Cyrano.
I feel like that was the best song, too, and we mentioned that.
That is the, like, I think I pointed out in the Cyrano episode, this is the song that feels like, oh yeah, this is the reason why this is a musical. This makes sense.
It's like, oh, I'm alive. I'm watching a movie.
And I really like Glenn Hansard as a musician. I think he's super talented. Every one of the songs in the movie are great songs, but there's also a movie around it.
Yeah. There's not much of a movie around it, though.
Yeah.
It's like a nothing. It's like a nothing movie, and the songs are good. And I guess... And
I know people are going to be upset because this film's got like a 97% of Rotten Tomatoes. People really latched onto it. And maybe in 2007, when the only other like movie musicals at the time were like Hairspray and Sweeney Todd, it really did feel different from the vibe.
Well, you also have to consider what music was playing in 2007.
We talked about this earlier today, didn't we? Please contextualize
you turn on the radio and you're
Okay, for context, me and Andrew were talking about like Billboard Top 100s for the late 90s to 2000s to 2010. If you look at the Billboard Top 100s from 2001 to 2010, you will not know a single one of those fucking songs, and the ones you do know, are fucking terrible.
2007, what would you turn on? You got Daughtry by Daughtry, Irreplaceable by Beyonce. I guess people like Beyonce. I see Lost Without You by Robin Thicke.
Ooh, another terrible person.
Just, you get some really good stuff. Looks like Low didn't come out until the next year, but...
Look we had Rehab by Amy Winehouse.
That's actually a good
Umbrella by Rihanna.
That's not a good song.
Let's see. No One by Alicia Keys. I mean, there's some good music here, guys.
I mean, the only, when I think of the early 2000s, the only music I think of are Shania Twain songs where I'm like, you're the one that I want, oh.
No, Fergalicious came out in 2007. I don't know what you guys were listening to, but
are you going to say that Fergalicious is a great song?
You're going to think, yeah, no, these are all bad songs.
Fergalicious stuff. This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arm Race, classic Fallout Boy.
Basically all music in the 2000s was really bad, so when you get something nice and folksy that comes out, like maybe it's a breath of fresh air.
Maybe just like the soundtrack was good enough that people were like, the rest of the movie's fine. I don't like meandering kind of movies. I like movies not even like plot based, because I don't mind a meandering plot. I don't like meandering set pieces. I don't like a scene that does nothing. Like, you can have a meandering plot with individual scenes that mean things. This just like, a scene happens and we sing a song and bye. We're done with that. Bye.
It's also one of those musicals where it's not a musical. It's just the songs are happening. Like, they actually are playing the songs.
Diegetic, cabaret style.
Yeah, they don't sing. So what it ends up with, none of the songs are plot relevant in any way.
Yes.
They're just pop. They're just kind of pop songs that are stuck into the movie.
But the problem is, as soon as the songs start, you start to get like, your heart starts racing and you get into it a bit.
Yeah, I think that as a series of music videos connected loosely by a plot, it's pretty good.
Okay, can you describe the plot of both the movie and the musical? Because I feel like they're relatively the same. It's just that the musical turns it into a story and the movie doesn't.
Yeah, there's a guy named Guy.
Yeah.
He's a musician, he's a street musician, and he also works at a vacuum shop. He meets this girl named Girl. The girl likes his music a lot and encourages him to make a record. They go on to make the record with the help of people they meet. And then eventually the guy has to make a choice to use the success of his record to go to New York or London, or it's one of those cities. I forget where he's going, but he has to go somewhere to make his music career happen, and or stay with Girl, and he decides to go make his music career happen and get together with his old girlfriend.
No, I don't think I don't think Guy makes that choice. I think Girl forces him into that choice because she refuses to say goodbye to him.
Yeah, kinda, but the choice is there. Yeah. Somebody makes it.
Because Guy kind of wants to fuck Girl from moment one, and she just, as soon as he starts to make a move, she's like, "Oh, fuck you," and storms off. But she still loves his music.
I'm kind of glad they keep it that way. I feel like it would have been weird,
especially because she's 17 in the movie and he's 38 in the movie.
That would have been extra weird. Yes.
Yeah. I like the fact that they are more of common age in the stage show, because
I was more thinking about the stage show, not the movie, because that's the one I watched first.
Did you recognize the actress in the stage show? She's a very famous actress now.
I honestly might have, but I don't remember now. Who was it?
It is Kristen Minolti, who you might remember as the mother from How I Met Your Mother. She is like the reveal mother of that. She is also in Palm Springs, which came out right when the pandemic hit and became a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
She, this was like her first big thing on Broadway, and she fell into a lot more opportunities in that. She's also the first wife from The Wolf of Wall Street, the one we're supposed to think is ugly in comparison to Margot Robbie, but I think she's gorgeous still. I think Kristen Minolti is a beautiful woman, but yeah.
She's the ugly one though.
She's incredible. One of the best actresses. She does a great Czech accent. like, it feels real. It doesn't feel like she's putting on a voice.
No, I honestly really like the character too. She's just there to encourage the music. That's all it's about, baby.
I like the fact that she is a character in the stage show.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot going on in the movie.
She's nothing in the movie. She is a
I don't know about
17-year-old
nothing, but-
girl trying to improv with a musician.
Yeah, the movie just has trouble telling a story. Like, by the time we get anything going on, it's just like he made a record and shows the tape to his dad or whatever, and his dad's like, "You should go do your career," and he does.
But the musical
just over.
is the same thing, but it works and it feels like it's intentional.
They just add more tension and like
Narrative
stuff that
drive.
actually happen, narrative drama and drive. Yeah, like. There's an open mic that he attends that just doesn't happen in the movie that I don't at least I don't remember it happening in the movie.
Yeah. I think the most important scene in both the stage musical and the movie is the Falling Slowly scene, where they decide to just impromptu write a song together. And I think that also sums up the biggest differences between the movie and the musical. So in the movie, she just sits down at a piano in the store and just starts playing, and then he just starts playing around with the guitar, and then Falling Slowly happens.
Yeah.
Which
is like a weird setting for it to happen and a weird way for it to happen.
Where in the musical, they build up the piano coming in, and the piano comes in, she starts playing, like, they build up the sheet music, they build up, like, everything gets built up. Even him pulling out his guitar and joining along, she builds up by playing the same chords over and over until he does it, and pointing at him, and making it a funny moment and a character moment. It makes it a big payoff there, and a big character moment for all of them. And I know you can't quite have that with a movie that's mumblecore improv, but it's so much more effective when it feels intentional.
I think the stage show just feels like a more complete story, just in totality. But it's also longer, so they had more time to like flesh things out.
Yes, and they feel more relaxed in the song numbers and not making them fully diegetic at times.
Yeah, so I feel like the movie is good for what it is, but the stage show is better.
Yes. Though the stage show does make a baffling choice. So the movie and musical are both called Once, right?
Yes.
The song Once is in the movie. It appears in the movie and is sung. It does not appear.
It's at the end, right?
Yeah. It does not appear in the musical, except in times when actors are leaving the show. So when Kristen Minotti, Steve Kazee, I think his name is. I'm going to double check that just so I don't look stupid. And people are like, "You're such an idiot, Jess. You don't know." Did I get it right? Even just based on memory? That means, my God. I'm sorry. I'm fighting COVID brain so much now that just things I'm convinced I know, I cannot be convinced. Like, on Pirates and Pan's End's episode, I literally just said an incorrect fact with complete faith that I knew what I was talking about.
Oh, what was that?
It was the fact that Three Little Maids from School is from HMS Pinafore, when it was not from that. It was from another Gilbert and Sullivan musical, but I said it with utter confidence because I'm a fucking idiot.
Oof. You hate to see it.
I hate to see it. But when they leave the show, they do sing Once as like a curtain call goodbye to them, which is interesting.
Yeah, why is it not in the show? Whatever.
I feel like it would have slowed it down, and the show's a little overlong, and I feel like it's also not fat. Like, it feels like it's the right length. Everything feels like it hits at the right moments. Like,
and straight up, Once is not that great of a song, and there's other songs that sound similar and are fine.
So Once, the stage musical, is 2 hours and 1 minute, excluding a 15-minute intermission. Once, the movie is 1 hour and 26 minutes. That is a big difference.
Yeah, it's considerably longer, the stage show. I feel like
they use that time wisely, though.
I'm usually big in favor of keeping things short, but I think in this particular case, I do prefer the stage show. There's certain things that I would cut though. Mostly, and I know that it's the Act 2 like opener part, but do we really need the scene where the manager of the music store is arguing with the bank guy? Like,
I don't mind the scene.
Do we need that to go on for like 15 minutes?
I don't mind the scene. I don't like the fact that the bank manager has his own song.
And yeah, it's actually, and it's one of my least favorite tropes. It's a song that exists to show you that he's not good at playing music. So he's intentionally singing really poorly, which is like, okay.
Yeah, and fun fact, I mean, that isn't even the opening number for Act 2, really, but that is the only one that I don't think is composed by Glenn Hansard. It was composed by Martin Lowe, Andy Taylor, and Edna Walsh, not by Glenn Hansard. So even more to show that the guy that knows how to write a song didn't write that song.
And then the punchline of it, after you listen to this guy squeal about with his guitar for like 3 minutes, the punchline is, "Yeah, don't ever sing again." It's like, oh, you could have told him that 3 minutes ago when I didn't have to hear it.
Yeah, you could. So I remember when this won the Tony for Best Musical. It was the year after Book of Mormon, so Matt Stone and Trey Parker announced it. And it's weird to go from Book of Mormon as the best musical to Once, because Matt Stone and Trey Parker went up with a shtick of being like, we are now big fancy Broadway people, and we are now this. And then they're like, oh, and best musical is Once. And then these like hipsters come on stage and accept the award. It is unintentionally hilarious and a good. I think about that anytime I think about this show. That is the first thing I think about, whether I want to or not.
What was it up against?
It was up against Newsies, which is still our #1 most requested episode. Nice Work If You Can Get It. Leap of Faith. That was what it was up against. Let's see what else was going on in that Tony Awards. Bonnie and Clyde was also there that year. Ghost the Musical, Lestrada Jones, and Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. What a year.
Tough competition. So Once probably was the best thing that was on that year.
Yeah, it's not like there was like any big competition.
I guess we've talked about stuff for a while. I mean, what is your thoughts? Do you have any additional thoughts on this?
I do want to say about the movie.
Yeah.
It does not use the visual language of cinema to its advantage in any way whatsoever.
I was hoping we'd be off this, but you know what? Go off, King.
I really just feel like I love dialogue in films. I love scenes of people being engaged with each other in films. I love romantic comedies. That is one of my favorite genres of storytelling. Me and Grace Aki have done an entire episode ranking our favorite romantic comedies. There is no chemistry between these two in the film.
Honestly, when I was watching the movie, I didn't even feel any like tension that he wasn't gonna just leave to go be with his girlfriend, because it's like it just felt like, well, these two, they're music partners, but they're not like interested.
And I say that to set up my point for the musical. There is a very intense sexual tension between them because they are both closer in age. Very, like, there is like scenes when they're alone and it feels like very sexually tense. And there's more time where they can actually develop the relationship, and there's humor. And I feel like if you have an audience there watching people about to kiss or wanting to kiss, the tension is more strained. You can cut it easier than if it's in a film.
Yeah, in the stage show, it actually feels like I could see an ending where he decides to stay with her, that kind of thing, you know?
Yes.
Like that, it's like that's a possibility that's on the table. Whereas in the movie, it's just like, well, yeah, he's gonna go do his career because she helped him make the record, and you know,
right.
It's a good record.
And I know we got to go into previews, but I do want to ask Bree, how did you feel about the movie? Did you feel like there was like an opportunity for them to actually end up together, or was it just a pipe dream?
Like I said, it's been so long since I've seen it, but I think for the most part, I always saw them as just music partners. I don't know. I don't remember like wishing they'd get together, but okay. I don't remember.
I think that's a healthy response to that movie. I wanted them to get together in the stage musical because I love Kristen Minotti. She is charming as fuck, and I wanted Steve Kazee to end up with her because he is also very cute. The first time I watched a show, it was actually the British version with Arthur Darvill, who you might remember from Doctor Who. And I think I actually prefer his performance because he's a little less threatening, a little bit more adorable, a little bit more raw. And I feel like that kind of drives my opinion of the stage musical a bit more. And Glenn Hansard looks like an old man, even at 37. He feels way too old to be hanging around this 17-year-old.
So Jess, can we briefly discuss some stuff that I really liked in the stage show?
Yeah, go for it.
This show does that thing where everyone gets instruments on stage just kind of randomly.
You love that?
And like everybody plays. I love that.
Style.
I think it's really great.
You did
Come
like
From
that
Away style.
You did not like that in Company though.
I feel like in Company it didn't make sense.
All right. Fine.
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember why I didn't like it in Company.
Your quote in Company was, it felt like everyone was dressed for a funeral.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't even the instrument thing in that. It was the version that I was watching I didn't like.
Yeah, and they had the instruments.
They had the instruments, but I don't think that was the problem.
Sure, Jan.
I don't remember. Company, peh.
Oh yeah, one of Sondheim's best musicals, Peh. Fuck you.
It's really not that good.
Shut the fuck up.
It really isn't.
Would you rank it above Merrily?
Maybe. I think they're around the same.
You enjoy being wrong. Either way, continue.
Yeah, they got all sorts of crazy instruments. I love I think there was like an accordion. What else was there? There's just all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
I can't even remember all of it, but they had like at least 8 instruments. Upright bass was on there, an accordion, guitar, piano, just everything. It was great.
And that's just the only thing you liked about the stage musical?
I distinctly remember the opening number being like super hype.
I do remember
And-
that. You texted me like, I hope the rest of the show is as hype as this opening number.
Yeah, and they had all the instruments on stage. And then I went to watch the movie and I was like, well, I wonder what they're going to do. And it's just him alone with a guitar. And it's like,
When
oh,
your
okay.
mind's made up, when your mind's made up.
Yeah, and it's
That's
just
how
like,
he
I want to see the hype fucking, like, everybody's playing, you know?
Yeah, you want like proper ensemble numbers, which they don't do in the movie at all.
Yeah, it's mostly just a guitar, and if you're lucky, a guitar and a piano.
And then the movie ends, and then you're very lucky. On that note, let's compare our opinions to those of the New York theater critics when this first came out. It's time for previews!
It's time for previews. It's time for previews.
All right, Bree, take it all away.
Okay. Ben Brantley, in his review of the New York Theater Workshop production in the New York Times, wrote, in translating Once into 3 dimensions, the playwright Edna Walsh and the director John Tiffany haven't steered clear of what were probably inevitable excesses. The script is now steeped in wise and folksy observations about committing to love and taking chances, most of which are given solemn and thickly accented utterance by Girl, played by Kristen Miolti, who is Czech. Guy, played by Steve Kazi, has been transformed from a shaggy nerd into a figure of leading man handsomeness, while Girl has turned into a full-fledged version of what she only threatened to be in the film, a kooky, life-affirming waif who is meant to be irresistible. But a merciful reversal occurs when Once breaks into music, which is often. Characters become less adorably overwrought and more genuinely conflicted with distinctive personalities instead of standard issue ones. The songs, written by Hansard and Miss Irglova, Miss Irglova, soar with rough-edged, sweet and sad, ambivalence.
Ambivalence.
Please help. Ambivalence that is seldom visited in contemporary American musicals.
So, that was of the off-Broadway version, right?
Yes.
The workshop production.
Yes.
I do want to say, like, it sounds like the original off-Broadway version is much closer to the movie, where it kind of is a lot more meandering, like a lot more boring until the songs happen, you know?
Yeah.
And
I guess it's hard to say. It's Ben Brantley.
Yeah,
so
fair.
It's hard to take what he says to be super serious, but
I mean, you
yeah, it
agree
does
with
kinda seem that
Brantley
way.
more often than you think you do.
no, I agree with him quite often. It's just sometimes he doesn't describe things the way that they actually
I think
are.
that's the thing. I don't even think he's the worst, like, observationalist. I think he's just bad at describing how he feels.
Okay, well, let's see what he thought of the actual Broadway production, which is something that I've actually seen, so...
Okay, so later when he reviewed the Broadway production, he said, when I first saw the musical Once at the New York Theater Workshop last December, it registered as a little too twee, too conventionally sentimental for the East Village. Yet on Broadway, at the Bernard B. Jacobs Theater to be exact, where Once opened on Sunday night, what is essentially the same production feels vital and surprising as the early spring that has crept up on Manhattan. And what was always wonderful about Once, its songs and its staging, has been magnified. In the meantime, its appealing stars Steve Kazi and Kristen Multy have only grown in presence and dimensionality.
I mean, I do appreciate a critic that's willing to change his opinion based on effort made on the creative's behalf. I feel like he read his previous review to make sure to see what his critiques were previously and saw, all right, what has changed? What can I feel about this? And I respect that.
Yeah, and I think he's being pretty fair.
Yeah.
So
I'd be interested to see what his review of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark was around the same time. I doubt it was equally as fair.
if there's a show you don't need to be fair to, though, it's Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Motherfucker, you're the one that said The Lightning Thief was worse.
And it is.
You're wrong. You're actively wrong, sir.
Time will prove me correct.
No, it won't.
It will.
It won't. It sincerely won't.
4 years from now, you're going to say The Lightning Thief to someone, and they're going to look at you like you're talking about a fairy. Like, you're what? What are you saying? The lightning? You mean the books?
Or the Disney Plus show? Because I think that's coming out next year.
There's a musical?
I think the musical is better than it had any right to be. As you, motherfucker, who went to the Broadway Con panel for The Lightning Thief.
And I didn't get COVID, so I didn't even take any souvenirs home.
On that note, do we agree with Ben Brantley's review there? I don't think he says much to disagree with.
He doesn't say much from. Well, I mean, he probably said more than what we read, but
right.
from the excerpt that we have read, I agree.
Yeah, I'm glad he liked it. Sincerely, I hope that it added to their success. On that note, it's time to move on to our favorite section of reviews. It's time for the Letterboxd game. 1 star, 5 star. It's Brianna Jones and Andrew DeWolf head to head. And if this is your first time on Musicals with Cheese, this is where I find random Letterboxd reviews, and Andrew and Bree have to guess whether they are a 1 star or 5 star based on the review alone. This is a binary. There are no 3.5s or anything in the middle. It's just 1 star, 5 stars. All right. Bree started last time, so Andrew, do you want to start this time?
Yeah, sure. I think
right.
I can handle it. I think.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
I've put off watching this for years because the poster looked like a Hallmark Christmas movie.
They aren't incorrect.
No, they are. That
Yeah.
poster is pretty bad.
It definitely isn't like a Hallmark Christmas movie, but
No.
the poster looks like one. 5 stars. I'm gonna say 5.
That is correct. Bree, you're up.
Okay, I'm ready.
What the hell is that?
1 star?
What the hell is that?
That is a 5 star. Bree, are you ready? Or Andrew, are you ready?
I don't know what the hell that is, but I like it.
I think they were quoting the movie, sincerely.
Oh, is that in there? I don't even
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Andrew?
Okay. Yep.
So cute, and she's me.
What?
What does that mean?
5? That sounds like a 5.
That is correct. Bree, your turn.
Yeah, damn it. Okay, my turn.
It's got music in it.
An accurate review.
Yep,
Finally.
accurate. 5 stars.
That is a 1 star. Andrew, are you ready?
I'm getting my ass kicked today.
Yeah, I'm ready.
TMZ footage is getting real cinematic these days.
Oh, I get it.
Because it looks like shit.
No.
Jesus.
Why are you doing
Oh
this
my
to me?
god. I get it, cause he's like 50 and she's 17. 1 star.
That is a 5 star. Bree, your turn.
Fuck.
Okay.
Irish Ed Sheeran.
I feel like that has to be a 5 star. We said everyone likes Irish people.
I thought
That
Ed Sheeran was already Irish. Am I wrong?
Oh.
I don't know, but that was a 1 star. Bree, I'm sorry.
God damn it. Okay.
Well, some people do hate Ed Sheeran, so.
Yeah. All right. Andrew, you ready?
Yeah.
This is a contemporary version of Grease for adults.
You're gonna have to explain yourself there, because
I
that.
don't see it.
I don't see
Yeah,
it
I don't
either.
see it at all. And also, Grease is already for adults. Kids shouldn't be watching that shit.
I agree.
1 star, because Grease sucks.
That was a 5 star. Bree, you're up.
Okay.
This movie didn't deserve that song.
1 star.
That is correct. Bree, you're on the
got
board.
a point.
Let me guess. It's falling slowly.
Eyes that know me. All right, Andrew, you ready?
Yeah.
Nice story. Crumbling details. In parentheses, how the heroine looks so much like my roommate.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 5 stars for the roommate.
That is a 1 star. Bree, you're up.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
Good instructional movie for how to stay hip while growing old.
5 stars.
That is a 1 star. Andrew, you're up. You
Okay.
ready? I was getting a hand job from a girl during this movie when my parents weren't home, and then I look up and she's crying because of the movie, and then she cried because I didn't come, so this movie is fine, IG. I don't think I could watch it again.
Sounds like a 1-star experience to me.
Cried because of the movie, then
I think I
cried because didn't come.
Yeah. Like, if you're already
What was the
set,
ending?
So this movie is fine, IG. Don't think I could watch again. I don't know what more you want from me. I gave all
5 stars. 5 stars for the hand job.
That is correct! Are you ready?
No, but yes, I am.
Can't believe this is the first movie to be filmed on a Nokia phone. They ain't wrong!
It's fucking true, though.
Oh god, but okay, like, is it like history making 5 stars, or is it like horrible quality 1 star, you know?
I don't know about history making. It looks like shit.
I'm gonna go 1 star.
That is correct, Bree!
Thank God.
You're
The
only
world's
1 point,
first
Bree.
feature film.
You're only
world's
1
first
point
feature
behind.
film in 240p.
All right, Andrew, you ready?
Yeah.
This was a long time coming.
I mean, the last guy didn't come.
You didn't come for a long time.
This was a long time coming. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
I mean, it showed up. 5 stars.
That is correct. All right, Bree.
God
Last
damn it.
one.
You're a genius, Andrew.
All right, this is like asterisk on both sides. All right? Makes jacking off motion with hand while rolling eyes.
Didn't come, though.
Yeah, I need to know.
Did he not?
Drinking and rolling eyes. 1 star.
That is correct. And Bree, with that, you are tied with Andrew, and we have a tied game here.
Yay!
I don't understand. How did she tie?
I don't know.
Didn't I get the last one right too? So shouldn't what?
You missed a
Doesn't make
couple,
sense.
Andrew. Missed a couple, Andrew.
But I got the last one. So if she wasn't tied before, how is she tied now?
She was tied before. She caught up.
I'm lost.
I'm lost.
And thus ends a game.
I don't think Jess knows how to keep score.
He just is like typing.
Sometimes Andrew wins, sometimes Bree wins. You know, that's how the game works.
Just flip a coin and fucking whatever.
You know what?
Can anyone in the audience let us know how many times
Juliet
Jess has fucked up the
Antonio, who
score?
does the cheese ratings. Just check me to make sure I'm not lying about my fucking preview scores. On that note, let's go into a mid-show announcement. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt you in the middle of the show, but we've got to chill at you. Andrew, tell us about a Patreon and who's supporting us and whatever the fucking merch.
Yeah. Patreon is a place where you donate to creators, including us, and we have extra content up there. We got live videos, so you can watch Jess have a mental breakdown.
You will
We've got,
100% see a full-length version of me breaking down on camera for this week's episode. Fun fact.
Yeah, and you can also watch me have a mental breakdown in our commentaries for Camp Rock, and other things. And also check out our website, with the merch. People who are patrons at a certain tier get a discount on merch, and we got t-shirts, we got pins, we got stickers, we got all sorts of stuff. Hoodies, I think, everything.
Everything you
Check
could
it out.
ever want.
Our current patrons are Melissa Goldman, Leighton Ackles, Danielle Renix, Jessa Stampede, Ewan Cassidy, Monica Thoreau, Amina Maniri, Brent Black, Nathaniel Stacy Coombe, Joseph Evans Green, Carrie Ahern, Mary Lou Choquette, John Vanals, Russ Walker, Erica S., Toriana Frazier, Sammy the Most Lopez, Leanna Morton, Angela, Kaylee Blazier, Birdman69, Musical Hell, Emily Gracie, Kyle Summers, Liz Lim, Allison Stuller, Nothing is Certain Except Beth and Taxes, Desbian, Ren Cullen, Rafael Martinez Stelaz, Jessica T, Mitchell Young, The Omega Geek, Katrin Evans, Paige Pearson, Maddie Wargle, Eliza Erdman, Anna Laskatova, Cheska Veray, Sarah Den Blaker, Chai Teacup, Katie McDonough, Timothy Keys, Chris Marcotte, Mimu, KG Marie Anastasio, Leela, RJ Noriga, Charlie B, Patrick Deering, Avery Brinson, Bjorn Hermans, Erica S, Toriana Frazier, Jess Gray, Jamila M. Brown, Evan Ball, Wayne Cruz, Adam Hunt, and Zachary Torres.
These folks give us a little extra financial support that helps us keep the lights on here at Musicals with Cheese. If you would like to join them in supporting us and get tons of fun perks such as Patreon-only commentaries, or episodes today early, or even earlier video episodes where you get to see me have a mental breakdown live in front of your fucking face, and a bunch of other bullshit, come join us over at Patreon. Also, you get some discounts on our merch, which is currently available if you go to musicalswithcheese.com and click the merch button. We got lots of cool shit like buttons, we got stickers, we got hoodies, we got t-shirts, and there's a variety. It's not just our fucking logo, it's a bunch of shit. A bunch of memes from our goddamn show, so go buy our shit. All right, you guys ready to get back to the show?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, Andrew, I know you like the opening number. Talk a little bit about that. The North Strand.
It's a very lively song with, I think, pretty much the whole cast is just up on stage playing music.
There's no lyrics, just instrumental. Just sit in your fucking seats already. Let's go. Let's do this shit.
But it kicks ass though. Like it's really good, and I kind of wish there was a couple more songs like this one. Like there's a couple that are close. I think in the scene where they're at the bar, the cast comes out with instruments again.
Yeah.
But this one is the most lively, I think, by far. It's very good.
No, I agree. I feel like it's like in our specific bootleg that we watched for this one, there is literally people sitting down trying to find seats during this number, and it is bothersome, but it's the right kind of song to like lead into the story. Like, it's all gonna be about music. It's all gonna be an emotional roller coaster. Let's go.
It's also it sets the setting pretty well, because I mean it's a lot of this music is very
Irish.
like Irish folk sounding, and it definitely has that vibe and sets that vibe really well.
No, I agree. I feel like that's what the movie could have needed, because the movie just starts us on the streets.
The movie just starts us on the street. I guess we should talk about the opening number there too.
Yeah. Well, let's pause, because the opening number, like the second number, is the opening number to the film, and that is Leave.
I can't wait forever is all that you said before you stood up. And you won't disappoint me. I can do that myself. And I'm glad that you've come. Now if you don't mind, leave and free yourself at the same time, leave.
The second number of the musical is Leave, and the first number of the movie is Leave, and it's just guy singing with his like guitar on the streets trying to.
It's fine, but it almost feels like they stuck a weaker song at the beginning because they had some better ones later. You know,
you can't start with Falling Slowly.
No, although they do that very early.
That's the I Want song, kind of, if you're really, really trying to stretch things.
Yeah, if you're desperate for this to fit into the formula, that's the I Want song.
I like Leave. I actually really do dig that song. I liked it on stage. In the movie, it's fine.
I think that it's fine in both places, but yeah, it's Guy with an acoustic guitar singing his heart out
about his ex
on the street,
getting cucked by his ex.
Hell yeah.
I think it's really effective in showing like the situation he's in without outright telling us.
Yeah, but we'll talk about the one everyone wants us to talk about right now. Falling Slowly.
Take this sinking boat and point it home. We've still got time. Raise your hopeful
don't you start off with Falling Slowly? Because I know you've sung it, you know the song. Let's go.
I mean, what else can you say other than it's gorgeous? It's a beautiful song, and Josie agrees.
I like Falling Slowly a lot. It is an I Want song. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I mean, it is, yes. Although, because they're actually singing it, it's a little weird. But I guess you can sing songs that describe what you want.
Literally,
For
think
real,
about
you
the
know?
Cabaret movie with Sally Bowles going on stage and singing Maybe This Time. That is as effective an I Want
Yeah.
song as this is.
Yeah, I mean, you just because it's being sung literally doesn't mean that it isn't also describing how they're feeling.
Did you know this song before you watched the show, Andrew?
No, I did not.
Really? That is absolutely shocking to me.
It's good though. I like it. I'm probably gonna add it to some playlists. It's pretty good.
I love this song. I love that it's like a proper deep to falsetto kind of male song. Like it stays in the lower register of a male's voice, like I don't know you, and then when it gets louder, like take this sinking boat, and that's it. There's no like middle range where you have to like try to belt or anything. I like it. I dig that vibe.
There's just it's one of those like folk pop type songs where there's not a ton to it, but it's just they know how to write a good melody, and they know that that's kind of all you need.
I mean, the chorus alone is an I Want song. Take the singing bone and put it home. We've still got time. Raise your hopeful voice. You have a choice. You make it now. That is the summary of what this story is in this song.
Yeah.
It is
So
properly effective.
it's really good. Everyone who's requesting us to cover this,
Are requesting the song.
are you happy? Are you happy? Okay, we like the song.
Don't insult our patrons that way.
I'm kidding. Honestly, this was a better watch than some stuff that I've been made to sit through.
Okay, what? All right, just give us like 3 musicals that you think were worse than this.
Lightning Thief.
No.
I'm not gonna do that, but I think the people know what I'm talking about.
I don't. I think you're full of shit.
Okay, yeah, whatever. Look through our episode list and you can maybe find for yourself what I might be discussing.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Good lord. No, this honestly is a pretty good one, and I like that it's kind of unique.
Like,
what's
I will
what's another
say,
song
in all
that's-
credit to this musical, there's not another show that really sounds like this specifically. Strangely, I know it is a connection that we have, but Cyrano is probably the closest musical that sounds like this. Or maybe Bright Star.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bright Star, but not really. Bright Star is they're both folk
Folksy.
music, but Bright Star is
Bad.
American folk and not as good, and this is like Irish folk, which is it is a different vibe.
Do you think this musical would have been better if Act 1 ended with Guy throwing the girl's toddler off a train?
Yes, if Act 2, the first scene was that it was a dream sequence.
That is still one of the wildest Act 1 closers of all time.
I honestly, it's like a bad choice and they shouldn't have done it, but I'm really glad they did it, and it's the only reason I still remember Bright Star at all.
I will. Can you tell me the plot of Bright Star in any way whatsoever?
They threw a baby off a train.
Yes! That is all we have to latch onto. Steve Martin wrote the music and they threw a baby off the train.
That's all I've got. I don't know what else to say.
Bree, were you even with us when we did Bright Star? Like, were you with the show at that point?
I don't think so.
God, that was
Maybe.
a wild fucking ride, Bright Star.
Oh yeah, it was.
Let's see. No, I wasn't. I joined right after. That was episode 96.
That makes sense. Okay, I remember when Grace Aki first came on our show. She was like a big Bright Star defender.
To be fair to Bright Star, I don't think it's that bad.
What do you think is worse than Bright Star? I think Bright Star is pretty close to the lower tier of what we've covered on this show.
It's close to the lower tier, but I mean, there's some pretty bad shit out there.
I don't understand. Like, I feel like I try to show you good shit, and then other people try to tell you, like, request bad shit.
Honestly, yeah, that's kind of is what it is. Like, people will Patreon request.
Like, We Will
awful
Rock You
garbage.
obviously is worse than that.
We Will Rock You is on a different tier. Like, it's honestly hard to have anything else that's even close to as bad as that. That was horrendous. Okay, what's another song from Once that we want to talk about?
I do want to talk about Gold, which is the Act 1 closer.
Okay.
And also a very big part of the movie.
Tear your curtains down, for your sunlight is like gold. And you better be you. Do what you can do. When you're walking on moonbeams and staring out to sea.
What do
Yeah.
you think of that?
Honestly, hang on. Which one was gold?
Ooh, I know it comes back twice. There's like an acapella one, and then there's the one that ends the it's I can't describe it because all these songs kind of blend together at a certain point.
It is a weakness. Okay, yeah. No, it is a weakness of this that a lot of the songs do sound pretty similar.
Like I like them all, but they do blend together at a certain point.
Okay, I do know this one.
Yeah.
And honestly, I gotta say, as an Act 1 closer, I think it's kind of weak.
I mean, it follows
Well,
the
one
Bank Teller
it clearly
song.
didn't leave a huge impression. The Bank Teller song left a bigger impression than this one, because I actually remember
you
the Bank
hated
Teller
that one.
Yeah, that's because that one sucked. I feel like I liked the one that they played to the Bank Teller more.
Yeah, I get that.
Say it to me now. That's like one of the ones where he like really like belts.
Yeah, and I don't think that one was in the movie. I think that was just a musical original.
And if you have something to say, you better say it now. 'Cause this is what you've waited for. Your chance to even up the score. And as these shadows fall on me now, I will somehow, yeah.
Well,
I remember because of the movie more than the stage show. And that's kind of the thing. The movie, I watched the movie before the stage show, and I was like, I don't like this movie. And then the stage show, I'm like, the stage show, it's fine. So you and I are in opposite boats here in a weird way. Or the way that we
what
usually
did
are.
you like about this one?
I liked it because it just felt like a passionate number. Like a lot of these songs, because they are performances, feel like they're dissociated. This felt like a number where the actor, the character, had a passion to sing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can we talk about When Your Mind's Made Up? Because I actually did really like
Yes.
this one in both the movie and the stage
The
show.
placement in the movie and the stage show are a little different because this is kind of like the 11 o'clock number for the movie. I do like the song a lot. It is probably the most intense number in the show.
When your mind's made up, when your mind's made up, there's no point in trying to change it. When your mind's made up, when your mind's made up, there's no point in even talking. When your mind's made up, when your mind's made up, there's no point in trying to fight it. When your mind.
I love the time that they use, the 5/4
Talk about that. 'Cause
feel.
I don't even know. That is Andrew knows music theory. I don't know it as well. So Andrew, go on.
I don't know very much, but this song has that pulse. It's 5/4, so the song is like 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 da, da,
When
da,
your
da, da, da,
mind's
da,
made
da,
up.
da, 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 da.
When your mind's
So-
made up.
It's a very odd feel to use, and it gives the whole song it more. I feel like it just gives it more power and more drive than a lot of other songs that you hear.
I don't disagree.
And it also just makes it a more unique song to hear in something like this. A lot of honestly, a lot of times it's hard to tell if people are messing with time, because in like a classical setting it's hard to tell, and in a rock setting they just don't do it very often. In fact, some of the better examples of it are from
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Andrew Lloyd Webber, but he doesn't do it anymore.
He did that when he started and he hasn't touched it since.
Yeah, like because in like Jesus Christ Superstar, that's in there, and there's some really good
See
bangers
my
that
eyes,
fucking
cause I
mess with time.
hardly see. See me stand, cause I only walk.
Yeah, so it's cool to hear this like folk power ballad or whatever you would call it that's in a odd time signature. It's really cool.
Can't dis-
And I really like the song.
And also, it just feels like, yeah, this is story. it feels like story. I know that's a dumb thing to add, but like that is kind of important to your narrative to have a moment where you're like passionate, really trying to work your best to get it all together. I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy.
Yeah, I think it's good. And honestly, after that, I don't think there's anything left to talk about really. They reprise Falling Slowly, which, you know, that's obviously good. In the movie, I guess we could talk about Once. I feel like Once in the movie works fine.
Give us sirens, call me. Give us sirens, call me. Give us sirens, call me. Give us sirens, call me.
I don't know why they cut it from the stage show. I feel like they could have.
I feel like
in there.
in a stage show, you really have to worry about time in a way that you don't. Even so much that they made a joke of it in A Strange Loop. Like, people need to know when they're allowed to go home.
Yeah.
And Once does not feel like a song that lets you know that you're allowed to go home.
You can't tell me they couldn't have cut fucking the Bank Manager song and put Once in there instead.
Yes, but structurally, there's nowhere to put it.
It doesn't fucking matter. Come on.
There is. It does matter. Let's be clear here.
I mean, you could have put it where Gold is, like the second Gold.
I guess. I like Once. I think that song is fine. Doesn't add much though. I didn't miss it. I wasn't like, oh my god, they
It's
cut
actually
that?
very funny though. Funny story. I watched the stage show first, and then I watched the movie. And when I watched the movie, when Once played, I was like, oh, that's why it's called Once, because there's this song that has Once in it. And I was like, I must not have noticed that in the stage show. And then you're like, it's not in the stage show. And I'm like, oh.
I just think it's wild. I think it's wild. It would be like...
I'm like, why is this called Once? And when I watched the movie, it finally made sense because I heard the lyric and I was like, oh.
It would be like if in the stage version of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, they wouldn't have included the how to succeed as the opening number. It makes no sense to me.
It's just like, why did you not include the title song?
On that note, what is our overall thoughts on Once and our cheese ratings? Andrew, why don't you start?
Yeah. So I really actually like the stage show quite a bit. Like, I don't think it was like amazing or anything, but I think it's got some really quality music and it's a simple story that you can relate to. I think the movie is fine, but after watching the stage show, it just feels like a weaker version of the stage show. So, and it kind of looks like shit. Like, they definitely filmed it on a Nokia phone.
You've shot on one of the first Sony digital cameras. It looks like shit. The movie is garbage looking.
Yeah, it really is not a great looking movie, but it is what it is. And I think you should watch the stage show.
Yeah, if it tours to your place, honestly, if there's like a local production of it, I think it would actually be pretty good.
Yeah, it's the type of music that I feel like a lot of like anybody can sing in a way because it's like folky music. So you could probably find a good local production of this.
I agree.
As far as a cheese rating, I'm gonna give it a Dubliner cheese because you know. Do I even have to explain?
No, you don't. All right, Bree, you're up next. What is your overall thoughts on our discussion and your overall thoughts on Once and your cheese ratings?
Discussion? Great. But overall, I think if you haven't seen Once, whether it's the stage show or the movie, you should watch it. I'm going to probably watch the stage show now because I really enjoy the music by Glenn Hansard. I'm going to give this an Ardrahan cheese. It's an award-winning, semi-soft vegetarian Irish cheese.
That's fair. Bree, thank you so much. You are wonderful. You are so wonderful. We're so lucky to have you on the show. I really like the musical Once. I didn't like the film, the score, the soundtrack, Glenn Hansard's music, all great. But I think if you give his voice and his lyrics to someone that can actually sing it, it really does come to life in a brand new way. So I do prefer the stage show. And Kristen Minolti, call me. You're probably married because you are. I love Andrew's facial reactions.
You want to get a call from girl?
You know, just to chat about what it's like to be on the stage and on film. God, get your mind out of the gutter.
Okay.
No, but
So no hanky panky.
no hanky panky. We won't create a whole album, but maybe a couple singles. But the cheese rating I'm giving this is Abertam cheese. It's a traditional Czech farmhouse hard cheese made from sheep milk because Kristen Minolti, as a Czech girl, gives me hard cheese. I don't know. On that note, thank you guys for listening. Please follow us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and Musicals with Cheese. Leave us a review over on Apple Podcasts telling us how terrible we are or how great we are. If so, either way, we are going to read it on this podcast because that's now what we do. Please follow us on Twitter at Cheesy Musicals. We're on Patreon Musicals with Cheese, Instagram Musicals with Cheese, YouTube page Musicals with Cheese. We have a Patreon-only podcast called Patreon with Cheese. Check it out because me and Andrew are doing commentaries every other week, and every week in between, me and Liz are doing episodes of the Tangled series. So no matter what, once a week, you're getting some content. That's all you want. Content that you pay for, that you aren't getting anywhere else.
Are you happy now?
Are you happy?
Are you happy now?
When your mind's made up. Either way, shoot us an email at musicaltheaterlives@gmail.com and we will read it on the podcast in our mid-show. So come send us some more emails. Our keeper of the cheese is Juliet Antonio. You are the fucking best, Juliet! Thank you for doing this!
Woo, woo, woo.
Our show is produced by the incredible, the wonderful, I love you so much, Brianna Jones!
Thank you.
She sounds so energetic, so happy to be here.
It was Andrew, not his yawning.
Our theme songs were created by Robin Nash of IOU Music UK. Go send them some love because they do some great work. Thank you to the Broadway Podcast Network for having us on the platform and for not kicking us off for all the Irish, Dublin, and Czech slander that we say on this show. We are just the worst at that. All right, Andrew, is there anything else we gotta say before we wrap this up?
No. That's all I've got. Irish people, you guys are funny. You got funny little accents. You make good movies, I guess, sometimes.
Sometimes. I agree. As an Irish person, I agree. We'll see you next time on Musicals with Cheese. All right, Bree, you're gonna help me with this?
Sure.
All right. I don't know you, but I want to fall the more for that.
I didn't think you were going to start at that part.
Where do you want me to start? I'll start wherever you think is the best start.
I don't know. I always think like, take this sinking boat and point it home.
We've still
got time.
Raise this up, the voice. You've got a choice. Let's make it mad. Oh shit! Falling
Beautiful.
slowly, words that know me.
Yeah, it's a rock cover now.
I would actually
Oh, yeah.
do a rock cover of every song from once, and that'd be great, like a heavy metal.
Some of them are already just rock songs.
Heavy metal. When your mind's made up, when your mind's made up.